Okay, I've been wanting to do this video for a little while now. I think this video is really, really old, and I remember I saw it when I was, I believe I was out skating, and I was sitting down eating like a little snack, and I was thinking about something recently called civility politics, right? So lately, it seems as though the tactic that a lot of right wingers use, right, is when you make fun of them, right, or you point out hypocrisies or whatever, they kind of curl up. Whoa, what the heck was going on out there? But yeah, they do this like this hypocritical thing where they try to say, you should be nice to me, don't talk about me like that. This is why the Democrats are lost, because you're making fun of me. And it made me think at the end of the day that you can't play civility politics with fascists, because that's how they use your empathy and understanding to get airtime for their white supremacist and far right beliefs, so they can slowly dismantle democracy, and they can dismantle, especially the working class and the general public, to make their views the norm and more palatable to the status quo. And I remember Destiny speaking, like, even though I disagree with him on a lot of shit, he spoke some real shit in this video.
Yeah. After the first assassination attempt on Donald Trump, you got quite a lot of heat for a series of tweets that you put out, which had some choice words, not just for Trump, but also for Corey Comparatore, who was the firefighter that got killed by mistake by the shooter at the Trump rally. You were on Twitter almost immediately calling him fucking retarded. That is Corey, not Donald Trump, saying that you have zero sympathy for anybody who gets caught in a crosshair like that, and seeming to have no sort of ill feeling about the fact that a former president, somebody tried to assassinate them. I must say that when I saw those tweets, I was shocked. I was surprised. And a lot of people messaged me and said, is this the guy you had on your show? Like, you might want to think again before having him back on. And I'm sure that people who haven't watched this far have already commented down below, I can't believe you had this guy back on. I understand that you are angry about the state of the right wing in America. I understand that you really don't like Trump, and that's putting it far too lightly. But when you talk about how you don't,
Let's keep in mind, because like I do my little interruptions. I can't just make this a video of me watching this video. So look, I agree with him. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, because here's the issue: is why Destiny said that, and this is my perspective. As ironically, as somebody who's living in America under this stuff too, who's on the outside looking into like politics, right? Whenever something bad happens to a minority group, like mass shootings at gay nightclubs, black people being chased down and unalived by the police or by vigilante racist white people, people being harassed in public for appearing to identify a certain way, people literally wearing like ice jackets and pretending to be ice now, going around harassing Hispanic people, people openly using the N word and being racist all over social media. It's hard to empathize with people who think that not just burning the country down on an economic level, but also on a social level can really be sympathized with. Because the cruelty that these people have and the contempt for people who they view as weaker or second class to them is constantly clearly on display. And it's hard to like really empathize with these people like you would anybody else on the planet. And I'm sorry to say it, but Destiny has a politically consistent take there. And if it was the other way around, somebody tried to do something like that to Harris or Biden, it wouldn't be no sympathy from the right. It would not be any at all. In fact, they encourage, gun culture and harassment of people that disagree with them. So, Destiny has a point with what he said in those tweets.
like Twitter because it sort of is poisoning our political dialogue. Do you not think you're contributing to it as well with this kind of behavior?
No, I don't think the dialogue is being poisoned because people are being mean, of which conservatives have been disgusting for years, which is why I don't give a fuck about anybody that winds up at any of these rallies and gets shot or whatever the fuck, okay? Because they had no problem making fun of Paul Pelosi. They have no problem making fun of anybody else that gets killed in some horrific event. A lot of conservatives were laughing along at a lot of my tweets when I was making fun of Palestinians during my last, year and a half talking about Israel, and some of them laughed when I made fun of Israelis as well, but all of a sudden Corey is beyond reproach. Bullshit. I think that the issue that I have with X isn't people being mean, it's people that are just lying and contributing to a destruction of the discourse. I think that people can be mean. I think hate speech is fine, whatever you want to do there. But when you have people that are intentionally bad actors that are just destroying the discourse by just flooding it with incorrect stuff that they're not even trying to be correct about, the entire world would be better off if these people were permanently removed from these platforms. Like, there is no downside and only upside to see people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool never be allowed to publicly broadcast their opinions ever again. It's exclusively bad stuff that happens. So if somebody wants to be mean or an ass or whatever, I'm totally fine with that. But when people
I mean, that's why I always advocate for bringing back the Fairness Act to make sure that news organizations and social media pundits are obligated to follow a sense of decorum or get fined by the FCC for lying about shit.
Are supporting, the destruction of our world, like informationally, right? When we've all become epistemic nihilists and now anything can be true. I remember joking 2 or 3 years ago, or however long ago it was, with the wildfires in Hawaii. I think I said something like, nothing will ever happen again. Nothing can happen anymore. It's all a conspiracy. And it is now, right? Like, I start a lot of my debates off with conservatives being like, do you believe in dinosaurs, by the way? A lot of them don't. They don't think dinosaurs are real. They think oil is naturally replenishing and big petroleum made dinosaurs up. The boat collision, I think in Ohio, was the Mossad that, rammed a boat in to take off the heat from Gaza. The train derailment in East Palestine was just leftists trying to poison the environment. Every single foreign affair is, Ukraine was started as a revolution by the CIA, and, there were bioweapon labs there, and COVID was a hoax, and the vaccine, like every single fucking thing. And now the hurricane is made by the government, I guess. Every single thing is not real, and it is destroying us. We have no unified front right now that we can present to the world, and we can't even do anything in our own country with ourselves.
There's so much to say in that. I mean, for a start...
I don't have nothing to say, but he's correct. And for those reasons, that's why we should end civility politics. You can't keep being nice to people who have no objectivity and care very little about truth and honesty and matter of fact.